We come now to verse 16 of the 7th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus is reading the minds, you might say, of these religious leaders who are looking at him and wondering in astonishment how it is that he's able to hold forth with such conspicuous expertise, not having attended one of their elite schools, which is usually regarded as essential for a person to be able to speak with such competence and authority. And Jesus, of course, understanding that this is what they are saying, he's there in the temple, he's halfway through the Feast of Tabernacles, he stood up, he's teaching, and he's responding now to the attitudes that are conspicuous, I suppose, on their faces and in their comments to one another. And so the answer he gives us now is reported by John, apokrithe. This is from apokrinomai, deponent verb. This is the third person singular, aorist active indicative. So he answered, un, postpositive, he answered therefore, autois, the dative, plural, masculine pronoun, so he answered them, ho Jesus, this isn't in all manuscripts, but certainly the idea is present enough, so the Jesus, or Jesus answered them, kai apen, and said, from lego, second aorist, third person singular, aorist active indicative, and then he eme, the of me. This is a possessive pronoun. It's used when more of an emphasis is suggested. So the of me, didake. This is the word that means teaching or doctrine. In the very early years of the church's history, around the end of the first century, there was a document that appeared called the Didache, and this was precisely the name of the document, and it's this Greek word, the teaching. So the of me teaching, he says, uk esten, not it is, or the teaching of me, it is not a me. Same word here, of course, used twice, so he says my teaching is not my teaching, basically, as if to make clear that though he's holding forth with this kind of expertise, he's going to deflect having some kind of personal human competence that at this point he is relying on and appealing to a vastly greater source for the information that he's passing on. So the strong conjunction here, Allah, to pimpsantos, this is the genitive, the participle from pimpo, I send, and so this is the aorist participle, it's the genitive singular masculine, so it's not of me, it's of the having sent me one. So the teaching that I am giving you is not originating with me, it's not simply the result of my own theological or philosophical musings as if this were some kind of human exercise, but it is precisely a representation of the one who sent me, referring to the Father, the Heavenly Father, something on the order of, but actually stronger than the quote, thus saith the Lord, that we hear of from prophets in the Old Testament. The teaching that I'm giving you is coming straight from heaven, and I'm declaring it to you, and that is why it should be taken seriously. That's the force of what Jesus is saying here.